Hi, everybody. Got a little sunshine coming through the window today. See it right there. But we're going to do this anyway and hope for the best. Maybe if I move it a little bit. Well, don't know that I can hide it. Okay. This is a strange little journal. Sometimes I get a wild hair and I want to clean off my table somewhat. I know all of y'all have tables that are just covered in stuff, and instead of like putting it in a box, which I do too, don't get me wrong, I mean you have to have a place to store all the extras, I like to see what I can do with them. And this book is a hodgepodge of whatever I happen to have on the table. So it is a little different. It is a 4 1/4 by 6. And this was an old piece that I got in an estate sale. Embroidery is very pretty on it. And the crocheting. Little piece of lace here. There's your spine. And here's the back. I used a lace closure. Like I said, this one's a little different. And I used owls because I had some owls in my stash, and it was one of those things you print off and then you don't know what you're going to do with it. So I put them in here in the hodgepodge, and they're just different kinds. They're silly. There's some silly things in here. But let me get to show you. Here's a little cute image of a barn owl with some lace and a booklet. Got all different kinds of coffee dye and different kinds of papers to journal on. There's a little owl charm, and this is a curtain pocket made out of a curtain. Over here's a little cutie with some lace and a book page. I also used fabrics that I normally don't use. I make up these things in advance. I've got a whole drawer full. And sometimes when you do that, you can't find something you want to put it in. So one of these books, just making it from what you have out there on that table, forces you to be creative for starters, and then you get to use up your stuff that you've made. And you never know how they're going to turn out. But I like this. There's something about it that I like. I can't tell you what it is yet because my brain's a little slow, but got a piece of lace here and a ruffle with some tuck spots and some journaling cards. And I also just stuck in whatever I happen to have. If I had one of something from the batches that I make, I put it in here. Isn't he a cutie patootie? That is a cutie patootie. And I put a lace card that has, a coffee dyed card that has some seam binding, a little piece of fabric for a tab. And those papers I like to make. I make a lot of these because I love them. I like to write on them. They just look so neat. So I can get that back in there. Here we go with my fumbly fingers. It just fits that pocket perfectly. And I put some of the stringy stuff behind that pocket. Over here are some tags with a little piece of doily and coffee dyed papers with fabrics and laces. And I also did crackling back here on the pages. I know I like to do that from time to time, but it's real faint. This is hysterical to me. This is a book page from that old 1920s school book that I got. Isn't he adorable? It says Owlet. And then you flip the page, and it's got somebody spraying him with a water hose, and it says, Moist Owlet. Boom, boom. Over here is a little, I got several of those in this book. Couldn't help it. That opens up for a little place to journal. Got a cutie patootie back here with some coffee dyed papers to journal on. These things just crack me up. Coffee. I think it's kicking in. Look at this. Over here is a place to journal with some journaling cards, and part of a slip actually that I cut up. If it's fabric, I use it. Some uneven papers and one of those big safety pins so you can slide stuff up under there and keep it. Piece of sari ribbon and lace. We all have that one friend who isn't quite right in the head. And I would say out of my group, it's probably me. But I left a little space over here, so what I would do is write their name over and over and over and over and over just to be silly. Little owls. Look at this guy. I guess you would kind of call him a steampunk owl. I don't know. Some ephemera in the background there, and this is some vellum. And vellum pretty much for a tuck spot can hold without something down there. So it does nicely. A ruffle here. And a little embroidered piece of fabric. I got it in an estate sale. It lifts up. Over here is a tag to journal on, and then some little lace with pearls for tuck spot. And then here, celebrate, celebrate. Okay, who remembers who did that song? Which y'all don't ever want to hear my singing again. I know, I heard it. Little heart here. You know, I think to be an artist, I've been an artist all my life. I mean, there's things I can't do now that I used to do. And I've ventured from every medium there is, and I used to teach. I think you have to be a little bit goofy. I think that's like a requirement. I had this part of a guest check on my table, so I used it. Look at him, and he's a cutie. Just love him. And him too. And I just had a little speck of a ruffle that I probably used in another book, and it was too long, so I cut it off, and it looks so cute right there. You don't know unless you try these things and see what they do. Some coffee dyed papers with some roughly squiggly fabric. Little tuck spot. Come up there. You know I'm funny about how I like stuff in my journal. There we go. When you accidentally say a curse word in front of your mom. That's the look I would get from her. It's like, oops, didn't mean to do that, Mom. Don't hit me. Which she never did. She might bop me in the head, but she never hit. And this was on my table. I don't know why, but I put it in here. It's a little dragon. Figured it had wings, and owls have wings. Over here is a place to put a date with a little clock and then the crackled background. And this is an empty envelope for you to put in what you like. Oh, yeah. The trucks are in the neighborhood and the dogs are going crazy. And this has got a piece of sari silk going down the side here. I like how it sticks over the page. It's kind of neato. Oops, come here, little dude. I had the string in my hand. This is Dressed for Winter Owl with his little glasses and his little knit hat with the pom-pom on top. Got some that's some sari silk with gold stitching. Some lace cards, a little ladybug. Yep, every dog in the neighborhood's going crazy right now. Love them. Over here is a book page pocket. It's opened at the side. Got one of those little squiggly things I like to make sometimes. And I put in some coffee dyed papers. Look at that little cutie patootie. Look at the feathers sticking out of his hat. A clock. Cute little bow tie. And a monocle. I just noticed that. It's a monocle. Cute. And a booklet with different coffee dyed papers in it. Well, let's put him behind that, because this book does have some laughter in it. Oh, a place I didn't stop. Well, we'll just put you right there for the time being, and I will... This is a piece of Latin, and the gentleman wrote, I guess, the English translation on it, which I thought was kind of neat. But that kind of covers up, so I think I'm going to go get something else to put there that'll be kind of cute. And that's a little metal embellishment. It's inch by inches. Little ruffle. And over here is a muslin pocket, and I put some yarn that had some threadies on it, and I didn't stuff it either. Well, I'm just on the ball today. I just finished this one, so, and I think I want some lower things in there too. So I will take care of that straight away. There's the back. That was a vintage tablecloth that I got at an estate sale. It's really soft and silky. Feels real good. And there's the back. I'm getting all kinds of little fuzzies from this, so I'm going to have to go through this, make sure that it's perfect. And there's the cover again. I want to thank y'all for being here for my Hodge Podge journal, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.